Hey guys, Micah here from Micahdoodles. Going to be drawing in, basically had an idea just to kind of make up my own car. I'm going to do a little rat rod style today. So easily what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to basically draw in my horizon line to kind of give that of the car. And again, when I typically draw, I use this as my parameters, but a lot of times I will take and rough in a rough oval. So this kind of gives me where the front of my car is going to start here, the back of my car is here, and then the front of my car is going to end about right here. So that way I don't go completely off the page. Now with the rat rod, there's a bunch of key features that are pretty cool on that. One of the big things that you've got, obviously you have no fenders, but you've got, tires that are exposed. You've got sometimes big headlights. Obviously, you've got a big engine and things like that. So I'm going to basically start roughing in some ideas to make this thing come alive. Okay, this is all obviously just quick, rough sketches that I'm doing to kind of develop something of what I'm looking at. I'm going to basically put a little bumper on here as well. Here's my grill. I'm going to add some eyelids in here. I think that looks kind of cool. Add a little, maybe a funky wheel or something. Over like that, so you can kind of get an idea of kind of how things are beginning to develop. Then on the back of this thing, I know that my car is going to come back here. Here's going to be basically the back window. And I always slant my windows in like this. So I'm going to get a little bit of this. Let me see my back wheel. Normally these back wheels are really fat, really huge, and so because of this angle, I'm limited to what's going on here. So I'm going to roughly go like this to really build this guy up like that. Go wider as well. Pull this thing like that. There you go. Maybe add a little one of those crazy mirrors that comes like that from the top. Something like that. Okay, roughly, that's kind of real rough. Anyway, but this is going to kind of give you an idea, and then obviously if you were going to put an engine in there, again, you're going to start just adding things and building up, basic elements as well. And a lot of this just basically kind of comes from the knowledge of how an engine looks and things like that. And then, if I'm going to have a pipe coming out, sometimes I'll take this pipe, I'll build it, and I'll shoot it out from what's going on down here as well. So as soon as I've got my basic rough outline, then I can kind of go in and I can begin to start detailing it up. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'll start detailing this thing up, and we'll go from there. Again, everything's just going to be kind of really loose and rough. I'm kind of using these as guides to figuring out what I really want to do. Again, if I was to put a bumper on this thing, I would take it and I would lift it up a little bit, kind of make it spin out like this. But I'm going to wait on that. Again, I'm going to put an exhaust pipe on here. Going a little crazy and big on this as well. Anytime you're going to do chrome, you're going to have a horizon line. Your horizon line is basically anything darker towards the bottom, it's going to reflect the ground. Anything lighter towards the top is going to reflect the sky. So that's kind of a real cheap, quick idea on how to do chrome. Roughly, you guys have any questions on that? Same thing with this light. This is kind of what's going on in here. Again, I'm just blazing through this to give it basically a rough idea. And then when I'm done, I'll go sketch it in as well. These lights are going to connect down here, something like that. This thing's going to have. Something like that, like that. There you go. Something basically like that. Roughing this thing and my pencil's dying on me. It's okay. Kind of adding some shadow effects and things like that on this thing as well. And again, if I was to go and color this thing in, I would probably take a little bit more time and be precise, maybe even going over it again to kind of figure it out and really nail down some certain things that I like, certain things that worked well, certain things that I didn't like. And I have a tendency when I'm done, if I know where my outline of my car is, I always darken that up because that really brings that vehicle alive. You kind of want to trace the contour of the vehicle on the outside when you've really defined your shape. It'll make everything kind of pop and come forward as well. Go something like that. This guy's coming in. There's my firewall in here. Now, because I've got a firewall back here to make everything pop out back here, you would darken up what's in the background. Whenever you darken something that's up in the background, it's going to make everything that's next to it pop out and stand out. That's one way to, just a quick trick to kind of get around if you've got multiple objects next to each other and they're starting to blend together. One real quick way to do that is to add a little bit of black, and then feather it against here and feather it out, or else completely darken it in. And that's one way to kind of overcome that and not have to worry about. Looks like you're losing the object. Same thing here. This image right here, I would darken this image down here. That kind of makes that light then pop forward as well. Same thing here. This thing would be blending, so I would feather this out like this. Kind of makes this whole grill pop forward. Quick, easy, quick little techniques that you can do. Let's see here. My tire's over here, but obviously I'm running out of room, so I'm just going to roughly fake it in. Now I'm not quite sure I want to put a bumper in. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe half. Yeah, maybe I'll half a bumper in, because this basically runs through the frame. The frame runs through here like this on these things. So yeah, I'll just do a half a bumper on this one. Okay. And then again, chrome, darken up your bottom area here. You know, leave that light on top like that. Run your chrome down like that. Roughly like that. Now again, my pencil's dying on me here, so I could go in here, really go dark on here, because this is kind of interesting. This thing right here kind of can come to a point like this if you wanted it to. And if you're going to come to a point like this, you're going to want to have one side darker than the other. And so, as I said, that's going to kind of show you what I mean. And this right here would be the edge of my, there we go. So what happens is some of this stuff starts blending together, and there's lots of parts in here. There's, alignment things. There's shocks in here. So rather than drawing them all in, I'm going to just start kind of drawing silhouettes of what's taking place, so that you can get the idea, rather than putting a lot of detail in, because your eye is going to make up and it's going to figure out what's going on. It has a tendency to fill in the blanks. So you don't have to always have to know everything. Some artists that are really good, obviously, really go into high detail and put everything in. But with me not having a drawing there, I'm just going to fake it for you guys. And then again, I'm going to darken up these areas here, behind here, to make these lights come out, come forward a little bit from my lights. Does that make sense? I want these lights to pop out, to be the first thing you see. Now, if you're working with color, you can kind of get away with it. But if you're not, if you're just working with black and white pencil, in order to make these things come forward, you're going to have to put a darker value here and fade everything in to make those guys pop out. That's just going to have to be how it's going to be. Okay, and then, sorry, I got a low battery on my phone. Okay, so basically that is what I've got so far. And then I have a tendency to put a cartoon steering wheel in here, something similar to that. Again, you could add a darker top on there. You could, change things up in here. I know that my perspective on this, if my car is going this way, I'm going to duplicate this line over here, bring the car in like that. So kind of I'm dealing with, the inside of the vehicle as like that. But that just kind of gives you guys a rough idea. If I was going to do like a hot rod and whatnot, that's kind of how I basically lay it out. You don't always have to have your tires touching, because if you're going to put a shadow on this thing, sometimes it's fun not to have the tires touching the ground, because it really kind of shows motion as well. One of the drawings that I did before of a vehicle that I sell is one of my Volkswagen Bugs that I did, just like this. And so this is actually a picture of my car. And so I kind of took the wheel off the ground, and kind of gives an idea as well, some of the things you can kind of do and get away with. But you can see a lot of my pictures. Go to Micahdoodles.com, M-I-C-A-H doodles.com. You can see my artwork there. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll have more drawings coming your way. But I think that's about ready. That's going to do it, guys. And you just sign your name. And we're done. Thanks for watching.